Welcome to another episode of URC Chumps Podcast. Unfortunately, Dara is still getting over the English loss. Loss because the French won. So he's not here with us. He wants to give us a hard time. Straight back at you, bud. Jacques, unfortunately, has an emergency. Don't know what that means. But I got Tim. How you doing, bud?
I'm good, mate. I'm good. I'm very good. Had a good weekend of rugby. My team won by 1 point, so that was a good, nice win for us in the Bundesliga too. Yeah, it was
When you put that up,
bit tight than I would have, but we're
yeah.
a lot better team. But we just couldn't on the day. We just couldn't string it together. But we managed to hold on to the win. So again, well done to my boys. I think we third or fourth on the Bundesliga too at the moment. So congrats to Ferrari.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, when I saw it, I thought you were putting up a time. I was like, wait until I figured out what it was. But anyway,
Yeah, it was
I think
close.
I think we need to get into it.
It's going to be a good one, brother. It's going to be a good one. There was a lot to talk about this weekend.
I think we need to start off with the internationals.
Yes, let's get the internationals out the way.
I see I got a mistake here on my thing. Ignore the left. But the right, as you can see, France beating England with a bonus point, giving them a definite win. Ireland and actually I've got most of the things that I've pulled up were wrong. But anyway, yeah. But it's France, Ireland, Scotland, Italy, England, Wales. Obviously, Wales actually did come off with a win. That's thing.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah. As you can see, Epic Six Nations raises defense questions before Rugby World Cup because there's been some questions about the North and everything like that. But Scotland did give Ireland a run for their money to a point.
Yeah,
yeah.
Yeah, the Ireland Scotland game was a good game. It was a good game of rugby to watch as a neutral fan. I thought both teams really went out there with the intention of really sticking it to each other. And as a neutral rugby fan, it was just a really good game of rugby. I thought Wales have really shown their class throughout this world, the Six Nations. They really have shown their pride back in the jersey, and they really pushed a lot of really good teams close to the edge.
I mean, as you can see in the picture, Ireland coming off Triple Crown, beating all the teams that they've from the English Channel side. So coming off at least with some sort of silverware over this period. But yes, I have to admit
Can I
was
talk about my friend Henry Pollock quickly. Yeah,
he's in the next one. He's in the next one. You see there in the corner. Yes, I haven't forgotten that one. But I mean, of course, France coming off victors. I see some people did complain about the ref. I see Borthwick apparently went after the ref as well.
Look, let me just be honest with you about this one. After clarification, the call was correct. Okay. On top of that, if you look at the stats, and people say France were lucky to win the Six Nations, yes, they slipped up once. But if you look at every single breakdown stat that tackles, percentage in other halves, any percentage rate of anything broken down in rugby, in this Six Nations, France were rated number one.
Yeah.
So they were deserved winners. Hats off to Sergio Ramos. Cool as ice. Absolute cool of ice. He is the French Henri Pollard.
Yes, he's the Iceman. Iceman. I don't know how to say it in French, but he was definitely.
I said the other day that the punt was overrated, but man, was he good on the weekend. So hats off to him.
I have to give it. DuPont is a great scrum half.
No,
Whether he's the
don't get
goat
me
of
wrong.
all,
As a scrum half, I can appreciate him. I just don't think he's the best in the world rugby player's ever seen. I don't believe the hype that is around him. I believe he
but I
is.
mean,
I believe he's probably the best scrum half without a doubt. But whether he's the best player on the planet, whether he's the best player that's seen the planet, definitely not.
but that's why I also bring up that whole thing. You can't have the greatest of all time in rugby because you try to put DuPont in the front row, he's going to get absolutely demolished.
No, but
Um,
even that, he hasn't, he's won silverware, but he hasn't won the World Cup. And I think that's a big part of being a legend of the game. Yes, he's gonna leave a legend no matter what. But if he doesn't see World Cup silverware, that will hang over his legacy for sure.
could you really
Uh,
claim that? Because I mean, let's look at someone like Sergio Perez, also a legend of the game. Never saw any real silverware in international, but I mean, he's
yeah, but
still.
would you take him and put him up there with Kieran Reid, Dwayne Vermeulen? Would you classify him as those number eights? Lawrence Earlier, would you classify him up there? No, you wouldn't because they've won a World Cup.
Yeah, I mean, fair enough point, but I mean, it does open up the whole thing. I mean, one of
I
the
mean,
guys that,
listen, again, it's the Ireland thing. Ireland
yeah,
has been dominant. They've entered the last, I think, two World Cups, number one in the world, and they've been knocked out in the quarterfinals. And they've dominated most competitions throughout a certain period, and they were still had the hangover of the quarterfinals over their head. So as good as
I
Ireland are, I
mean,
wouldn't have took the time.
this guy in the main picture here, Targ Burney, um, yeah, he would be under that whole thing as well. Won't be. I don't know if he'll get international recognition in the sense of World Cup, but I mean, for me, he's one of the legends of the
Of
game,
course,
playing six
of
and
course, of course.
yeah.
I mean, if you
Uh,
look at Alan Wynne Jones, legend of the game, but he never won a World Cup.
the problem is, I think he fulfilled that saying where you either die a hero or you live long enough to see yourself become the villain. And I think he became a bit of a villain for Wales in the sense that he played too long for them.
Oh man, would you say that about Victor Matfield then, or even right now?
Victor took a step away and he understood he wasn't going to be number one the whole time and everything. Where,
Yeah. And we're talking about Victor Matfield at the end of his career. What he actually made a comeback, and he wasn't the same. It's a similar sort of stance.
yeah, the again yeah, when I read Victor's book, he was more like came in as a
Of
mental role
course,
playing,
but I mean,
which I see the
does
South Africans have carried on with because of the likes of
would
Willie
that not
LaRue right
be
now.
considered with Alan Jones as well? Would he not be a mentor, considering he was captain, considering he was the most capped Welsh player ever? Would he
Most
not
capped
fall
international
under
player
a
ever.
Yeah, but would he not fall under a mentor? Surely so. It would be the same argument.
Yeah, it would be the same argument. I mean, you have to look at the stats and everything in there, but yeah,
But Victor
it is
Matfield's World Cup
unfortunate.
winner. It's again the
Yeah,
difference.
and also Victor's, yeah, he's got more silverware than Allen. But yes, I mean, there is some things. I mean, we have to give it to the Six Nations. They did have a fantastic tournament. It was exciting. It was awesome to watch, even from a Southern Hemisphere. It makes me concerned that yes, maybe the Six Nations could become the international tournament um, being the best. I mean, it's always been the Southern Hemisphere, the Championship, and the
Well, I
Tri
mean,
Nations because yeah,
there's a new competition between the North and the South, so that's sort of going to change things a bit. So I think the new sort of thing is going to be this championship where the North play against the South. You know,
now I've got a
and
question on that. Is France going to take that serious?
I think
Is
they have
France
to.
going to take that?
I think they have to.
Because look at what happened last year against New Zealand, where they took a third string team there.
Yeah, and look how the third thing did.
Yeah, but also don't forget New Zealand's were flopping. So even though New Zealand got the results, it wasn't the greatest game. And I mean, if you go look at
New Zealand beat us last year.
yeah, but that was on an up for them, and then Wellington was a down, and that's when we literally ran away with the game. But yeah, whether it was a full strength French side, it could have been a different thing. This is my question. We're gonna have to pay attention to that later on.
Preparation for World Cup year, so it's a good time to get your squad playing together and gelling a bit, and yeah, I think they have to take it seriously.
And talking about gelling a bit, let's first talk about the Frenchman over there, Oscar Jago. He has received a 4-week ban. I've seen some Southern Hemisphere pundits being very upset about that.
I just think
his record is clean.
Look, there's no difference between what he did and what Etzebeth did. No difference whatsoever. The only difference is Etzebeth's got a green jersey on and he's got a blue one on, or what,
But this has been the argument. Jan Hendrik Wessel's got that suspension with no real evidence against him, and we getting.
I mean, if you just look at this is not a first or second time. I mean, if you look at our Jasper Wiese's headbutt, and then you look at Jamie George headbutt, there's no difference. None. Ellis Genj, sorry. Genj, sorry. But there's no difference in that.
No.
One gets a lengthy ban, the other one gets nothing. Why? One's English and one's South African.
No.
I mean,
and then, of course,
everyone says that it's salty, but we're not. It's blatant. It's absolutely blatant.
I mean, even if it wasn't a full tour, it should at least be double digits.
Look, man, all we're asking is for consistency from World Rugby. We're not asking for favors. We're not asking for anything. We're not asking for leniency. Eben was wrong. Yeah. I think he deserved the ban, 100%. Okay? But there's no difference to what this man did to what Eben did. And there's no difference in the headbutt. But there was a different punishment dealt out, and that's unacceptable.
Yeah. No, I agree.
Asking for lighter punishment on South African players. I'm all for. The game must remain a gentleman's game. There's no place for eye gouging on a rugby field. None. Zero tolerance for that. So whatever ban they have down for that, I'm on board with. But make it for everyone. Don't make a green ban longer than a white ban.
Yeah. Sorry, you saying that just makes me think our first game in that Nations Cup was against England, and I'm so hoping that the South Africans, if Tom Curry is playing, chance vid cunt, basically white side.
Look, at the end of the day, that's going to be a great test. I think the Springboks will take it, but England are definitely not going to lie down and get pumped by us, that's for sure.
Especially with the guy in each of my corners, there being the same guy, one saying, just be humble, stop being a show pony. And Kevin Peterson going, I missed yesterday's rugby, but have seen it reported and seen pictures of England celebrating again during the game like they've just won the World Cup. For flip's sakes, can someone please tell them to celebrate a victory after the final whistle and not during it, please? And that's from KP.
Yeah, I mean, this is where the Pollock ego gets in the way of his rugby. And this is exactly what I was telling you about, and this is why for me, he's going to remain a very average rugby player. He's got all the talent in the world, but if his behavior remains the same off the field, it's going to transform onto the field. He can't behave the way he does. I know he's young and he's still got a lot to learn, but running and shushing the crowd before the end of the game and then losing is the ultimate humble pie you could ever receive. And hopefully he learns from it because he has the capability of being a superb rugby player. I mean,
here comes the thing.
He only started playing rugby when he was 16. Do you know how talented this kid is?
Yeah, but I mean, here comes the thing as well. Gazza did it to the Irish when he scored that first try when he played against Ireland. But when he did that, that's because there was a plan. He was telling him to calm down until the plan where we dominated them in the scrums constantly after that, or destroyed them.
For me, I'm an old school kind of rugby player. I don't think there's a place for that. We're not soccer players. We don't, there's no place and there's no need for you to disrespect an opposition crowd. Okay, end of the day, just like in life, you are a guest in their home. That stadium is their home, not yours. You are a guest there. You should show some respect. To run around and shush them and act like an absolute clown, I don't think that's acceptable. Even from Damian Willemse when he did it, I'm not on board with it. I'm not okay with it.
Yeah.
I don't think it's a place for rugby. We're not soccer players. We don't scream at referees. We don't shout at referees. We don't shush crowds. We don't eye gouge. I don't know what's happening in rugby at the moment, but this is nonsense.
Talking about that, did you watch the URC this weekend?
I did.
Because that brings up onto this one. Let's first talk about the first North games being Connacht versus Sklecny, or Scarlets. Connacht coming out on top there, and Ulster beating Edinburgh.
Ulster beating Edinburgh, that's a surprise for me. By this amount. I thought it would be close, and I thought you could flip a coin to who won that one. But 40 points to 19, I did not expect that.
No, I just want to double check if my stats got pulled through correctly, but I think it is. Yes, because I see now Truckee and all that kind of stuff. Ouch, that is not a nice scoreline. Sorry, just give me a quick moment.
No worries, mate.
Yeah, that is correct. No, it is correct. I was just double checking. Now, I was looking at the Marty's Ikes scoreline. It was not pretty for Ikes at home.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they went down in the Cape Derby 34-7.
Ooh.
At home at the Green Mile.
Talking about derbies who went south, did you see that Villagers gave false player Paxlan?
No, I didn't.
For our viewers, Paxlan is a hiding, a snortklap, bliksem, an RPK, bro, running.
A real. Yeah, but then also talking about derbies, we had the North-South derby, Bulls going up against Stormers. Both teams got called for chirping and swearing at the ref. One being our very own Sasha, and one of the Bulls players. I can't remember who.
I'm surprised from Sasha, just because of the fact the school he went to, they don't tolerate that. He's not brought up like that, and I hope that's not a sign of his attitude going towards the Pollock attitude. But I thought he had a very good game. I thought he was superb. I thought he controlled the game. I thought he, as a general in the back line, on defense and attack, I thought he was great. I thought the entire Stormers side was fantastic. But again, I am fully anti anything like that.
Now,
you swear the referee, send him a yellow card. Cheers, buddy. Go sit down for 10 minutes. You will not talk to me like that.
It went from a short arm to a full penalty after he
should have been sent
off. I do believe it was just out of frustration. But yes, I don't agree. I don't agree with it at all. But at the same time, I do understand it was out of frustration. And then
I don't
understand. The second one.
There's Curbs, you've been on the rugby field, you've had terrible referees, but you've never sworn at a referee. You've sworn out of frustration in general, but it's never been towards a referee. You've never said F you or stupid effing decision, or you've never said those things. You've walked away to your mate and said, oh, that was a cuck call or whatever, but you've never, ever sworn at a referee. I'm sorry. There's no place for it. I don't understand it.
However, he at the next stop and play, he did go up to the ref and he did apologize, which you have to give him props for that. He didn't just sit there and kind of like, you blew me. He went to he said, sorry, Mr. Ref,
Yeah,
for my yeah.
but there's again, he needs to rein that in. If he's going to be any sort of idol for the kiddies and whatever, which he is, he needs to
Did you
rein
hear
that
the
stuff.
ref's comment on that? He says you are an idol to many young
Well, this
players
is
in this
that's
country.
you need to exactly that, and he needs to realize that, and Rusty needs to put a lid on this because that's everything he's doing right now is against Rusty's philosophy.
I think Rusty's going to rein him in soon. I mean, it has to be done.
Must.
Yeah,
No place. We don't behave like that on a rugby field.
but I am thankful we won a game. It's been a while
Yeah.
for us.
For
To,
me, I thought the Stormers were wonderful all around. I thought they were great.
yeah. Apparently, Dion Ferree demanded to be substituted after 35 minutes. It just shows you that the intensity of that game. Also, he has been out, so he isn't completely match fit. But yeah, he apparently demanded to be replaced because he couldn't keep up with the intensity.
Is that maybe a sign that it's time for him?
I don't know. Like I said, he has been off for a lengthy period of time.
Yeah,
So,
but he's also like old.
yeah, he is old at the same time. So yeah, I mean, we'll have to wait and see.
Listen,
Yeah,
up to the pace of the game anymore. I hope not. I mean,
but
what
then he
an
did get
absolute
replaced by a phenomenal player who definitely needs to get into the green and gold jersey this year, being Paul de Villiers. Absolute menace at the breakdowns he's been.
yeah, I agree.
Yeah. But then moving on, that gives us now everybody's played 12 games. Glasgow sitting on top, with the Stormers sitting at second with 41. I'm glad we are back up there. Don't know the points difference of working, but anyway. Ulster is one of the teams that we still need to play against, and as far as I know, we're playing against them in Ulster, which is not really what I want to do, considering how Ulster can be. Then we
Well, I
got
think
Leinster.
that's a game of two conflicting styles of rugby, so that'll be very interesting to watch.
Yes, but I mean at the same time, you need to be careful of Ulster.
No, I mean it like it's
Yeah.
completely two conflicting styles of rugby, and on the day it depends on the weather and it's going to be very interesting. It's going to be a great game.
No, it is going to be a phenomenal game. I'm just quickly pulling up some things quickly while we are talking about it. I'm going to talk from a Stormers point of view. So we've got the Dragons on Sunday, and then straight off the Dragons game, I think it's the rest of the guys who haven't been selected and everything like that. They are playing against the Seattle Seahawks or Seawolves or whatever.
Yes.
That's the team that JC's twin brother Dan Creel plays for. But yeah, then we got Edinburgh at home, Toulon away for the Champions Cup. Then we got Connacht at home, Glasgow at home. Then we got Ulster away, and then our last game is against Cardiff. So I mean, let's look at that quickly. Edinburgh is sitting 12th. Okay, cool. Okay, let's go. Dragons are sitting 14th. Edinburgh is 12th. Then we literally got Connacht, who is 9th, literally knocking on the door to 8th position. We got Glasgow, who's second, who has to come to us, but that still could be a hard game. Then we got Ulster and Cardiff. I mean, most of our games are against the top 8 teams.
Yeah. But I think we in a stage now that we're starting to find our form again. We went through a little bit of a slump, but I think right now is a good time for our guys. We're starting to find our feet again, and the Bulls' performance was really good. So I think there's there's a good chance we finish top three by the end of the season. I think personally, I think for us, top four would be great. We remain top four, get a home quarter. That'll be and hopefully a home semi. Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, as you can see there, that is the games coming up for this week. End. Starting off with Cardiff coming to visit the Bulls.
This is actually my pick. The two games on the Friday are actually my pick of the weekend of the two games to watch.
Yeah. Then, of course, we've got Ulster versus Connacht, and at the same time, which is not on there, is Scarlet versus Zebra.
Okay.
Followed by Lions hosting Edinburgh, Sharks hosting Munster, which is not also on there. Benetton hosting Ospreys, which is there, and then of course Sunday, Stormers hosting Dragons to end off the weekend. I mean, that is
rugby packed. But I'm really excited for Friday night, though. The Bulls, Cardiff, and Connacht Ulster are going to be two very, very good games for rugby.
No, it definitely is. But I mean, that team, Bulls, after their loss, apparently has sent out the SOS call to two-cap Kerwin Bosch while still contracted to French D2 side. Is this a good call? Is this what they need?
Listen, for me, I think Kerwin Bosch is a wonderful, wonderful rugby player. Personally,
on attack.
Or fullback, he's really good.
On attack, his problem is defense. He's tackling, and this is the problem. This is the defensive side is where the Bulls are being let down at the moment. It's not on attack. I don't think Kerwin Bosch is the answer. I could be wrong. Maybe he's become a bit more of a tackling machine.
The answer, he might be a gapful. I don't think he's the answer because, Kerwin Bosch is also getting on a bit.
Yeah.
They need to get a nice young 10. I mean, yes, they got Pollard, but they need a nice young 10 or 15. Maybe someone interswitchable like a young Billy who can, But Kerwin Bosch is not a bad option. Hey, he really isn't. I'm actually a Kerwin fan. I think he'll do really well at the Bulls. I think he'll fit into their style of play. I think he'll add something to their attack. You have your concerns on his defense. I think his defense is okay. I think he's a little bit shy under the high ball, but I don't think it's a bad call. I just don't think it's a solution. I think it's more of a gap for the season or two, but I just don't think that's the solution. I think that's more of find something that works for now until I can find something better. But I do rate him as a player. I thought Kerwin Bosch was very unlucky only to play for the Springboks twice. I think he deserved more caps. I think he's a fine rugby player.
Yeah. No, listen, I'll give it. He is a great fly half in the sense of his kicking and everything like that. Like I said, now he does have a slight issue with defensive thing, and I think for the Bulls right now they need to go more defensive than attack. But yeah, we're gonna have to really keep an eye on what happens, and if it is gonna go down the way they want to go down.
So what option would you give if you're not going to go Kerwin Bosch? Who would you pick? If you were the Bulls, what would the player be that would be you would think this is the player I need to bring in to settle this right now?
If I could bring him back from in his prime, Peter Grant, but Yeah, the thing is, I don't know who to choose. And the one guy I would probably say would probably be good in the sense of getting experience and bringing him a third string is that guy who played for UCT last year. They went to the Cheetahs.
Okay,
I
but he's playing on the
can't
left
remember
wing.
his name. Yeah, he can also play on the left wing, but he can also play 10, as far as I remember.
He does the goal kicking, but he plays wing at the moment at the Cheetahs.
Yeah, but I mean, yeah. I mean, he would be one of the guys that I'd probably think trying to bring him in and give him some experience. Because even if you put him on the wing and then you just use him as a kicker, yeah. Um,
The Bulls have got really classy wings at the moment.
but it looks like the Clark could be out for a period of time, and I think that's also part of the reason why the Stormers did so well against them, because they only really had one proper wing playing. Um, yeah, just trying to think. Jeez, it is a very good question because I mean, do you go and steal from another team, or do you go?
Well, they're obviously going to look overseas and bring someone back, right? So they're going to look at
Yeah,
who's playing tens overseas and where they're performing, and so
isn't Rob de Perez contract coming up with Sale?
there's an option. But
But
is
then again,
he
he's also
would
he's
he
better.
would he fit into the Bulls' style of play?
Yeah, especially with the fact that they need someone to control the defensive line, and he's pretty hard on defense.
Would you not looking at bringing in like a seasoned center, a defensive center, like we did at the
He
Stormers
can
with
also
Jacques?
play center. But he's
Remember, we
also
brought
a
in
center.
exact point. We brought in Jacques to basically run the defensive patterns, the Stormers in the back line. We had
And Tony
yeah,
Brown.
yeah,
um,
but yeah, interesting question, guys. Maybe leave
yeah.
us a comment. Who would you like to see come up into that role? And is Cohen Bosch the right call? And yeah, valid question. If not Cohen Bosch, then who? Who's
Yeah.
playing that you would like to see back in South Africa that could fill the role that the Bulls are looking for? Let us know your comments. It's
Uh,
very interesting.
no, it is actually a very interesting point and everything like that. It is something to think about because I mean
Bit
the
of
Bulls
lively
players,
debate in there,
yeah,
guys. That's a really good one because there's a lot of talent overseas, huh? There's a lot of
yeah.
talented South Africans overseas.
The Bull supporter that I spoke to, he says no, he would want um what you call it. They need more props. They don't actually need a center. And then I think it was what's his name? Cornier was the person he said should come back. Um, but yeah, it is very interesting. But yeah, let us know below. Also, follow us on our WhatsApp channel. I'll put the link in below. Because we've got a WhatsApp channel now where we update some of the things that we think about with questions that we want to hear from you. It'll be nice to actually see your responses to the questions that we ask. Yes, you can't really respond as much, but you can at least have inputs with yes or no when it comes to questions that we put out there. Um, on these videos, put your comments below because yes, we like to hear them. We actually like to see what you have to say and actually bring it up into conversation. But I mean, yeah, it's nice to see that we kind of back into URC.
Yeah.
Some questions being questioned and stuff like this. Um, I don't know, just Akers looked like he was fishing for answers at some point. I mean, he even gave his thankful to God speech for playing rugby in the middle of the build up, and I was like, it just to me it seemed like he was trying to fish for something divine intervention in these interviews.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it was a tough one for the Bulls on the weekend.
Yeah,
Yeah, because I mean they really were good against us last time out. and I think they expected a similar, maybe not such a big difference, but I think they expected to come away with a win there. I don't think they expected to lose that one.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at it, the last game, as I said to a Bull supporter, I said, if you lose the game, you can blame the ref. If you win the game, you can thank the ref.
Yeah.
It wasn't a pretty game in the way it was handled from an officiating point of view. This one was a little bit better. I did have a problem with the touch judges. They were calling a penalty against the Stormers because the first two scrums were penalties against the Stormers, and it was called from the touch judge. But as soon as the ref went onto the other side, there was no problem. Then I had one Bulls guy telling me no, but our tight heads are going in at the 45. But at the same time, the stability from their props, they look like they were swimming in the scrums.
Yeah, look at me.
Yeah.
The art of scrumming is a dark art. I don't claim to know much. I put the ball into the scrum and I get it out the back, you know. What goes on in between there, I kind of leave it to the big boys.
I just hope you don't see a big hand coming like one of the English guys who grew up in South Africa. Got from Bucky's. Please, Gabby.
Stevens, yeah.
Yes. Yeah. But anyway, guys, thanks for tuning in this week. Like we said, please like, share, comment, and subscribe. Let us know your views. Let us know how you think. Follow us on the WhatsApp channel. We'll put the links in there as well for the future. We'll put questions in there. We would like to actually get responses from you guys. We'll put things that we've seen during the week that we'll discuss about. When it comes closer to the time, we'll put in questions like, how do you think Pollock's going to handle everything? I mean, like we put in the team of the week from the Six Nations. Yes, it was a bit of a joke because Reece Carey was sitting at 11. However, South Africa did it first. I even put it in the one group that we were in. The South African pop literally ran it from 60 meters out. Where Carey only did it about 30, 40 meters. So yes, South Africa starts something, the rest of the world follows. But anyway, thanks very much to fellow champions. Keep well, stay safe, enjoy.